All right, fight fans, we're going to keep the action rolling here in Gulfstream Park, live in Hallandale Beach, Florida, our final fight of the year. Here for the Action Fight League, we're going to stick with kickboxing, and we're going to head to the welterweight division. Let's welcome fighter number one out of the blue corner. Please welcome Devin Lee.
And the Fire Prince, Devin Lee, making his way to the cage here, representing Senjutsu. I have the pleasure of calling what has been one of the knockouts of the year. Beautiful, beautiful spinning heel kick right to the temple. Put his guy on roller skates a few months ago. And a big guy, big, tough, strong guy, tall drink of water, knows how to use his range, deceptively powerful, even though he's a big guy. Look forward, but TJ Stanislaus is also a handful for sure. There we see him walking out, towel over the head, shirt already off. The Fire Prince, Devin Lee, bringing the heat as always. A deliberate movement style, which leads to big, flashy, grandiose, impressive strikes. Very, very good basics for a tall guy too. Doesn't leave himself open, knows how to use range, knows when to use range. So very excited to call this fight again. I believe I've called all of his fights to this point. So an honor for me, I must say. Getting a little loose, a little bit of making sure the cup is checked, secure, in place. That's good to know. By the way, anybody tuned in, listening to my voice now, let me give you a big War Eagle. Go crazy Cadillac, go crazy. You can always tweet me, Instagram me, whatever, at @ATTBlake. And update me on the score, as I cannot watch my Tigers as they are.
And now we welcome to the cage fighter number two out of the red corner, TJ Stanislaus.
And again, TJ Stanislaus can be a handful. He has quite a challenge in front of him tonight with Devin Lee. Stanislaus 1-1, Devin Lee 1-0. Both guys relatively new, though both guys with a little bit of experience. Stanislaus 6'2" in his own right. He will not be giving up much range against Devin Lee, if any at all. So I do look forward to seeing Devin Lee make adjustments against a taller fighter, or taller. His previous opponent was a bit lower than him, as it were. There we see Ice and Vice applying a little bit of the greasy weasy, getting that rubbed on there. A lot of grease. Whatever, it's kickboxing, who cares? Put all the grease on you want. Now I have called Stanislaus in the past, not recently. Don't know what he has been doing. I feel like I called Fire Prince Lee the first half of this year. Took some time, made some adjustments, back in here again. There we see, got a duck under there, brother. And yeah, I believe Stanislaus may have just a bit of a height advantage of his own. We'll have to see. Got some long arms for sure. Got the reach there. Speaking of reach, there's Chelsea Love reaching to the sky with that first round sign of Blake Chadwick. Let's go.
The following bout is brought to you by Maria and is set in the Action Fight League welterweight kickboxing division with 3 2-minute rounds of action. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, standing at 6 feet 3 inches tall. He weighed in at 170 pounds. He enters this fight with an amateur kickboxing record of 1 win and 0 losses. And fighting out of Senjutsu, here's Devin Lee. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, standing at 6 feet 2 inches tall. He weighed in at 171 pounds. He enters this fight with an amateur kickboxing kickboxing record of 1 win and 1 loss, and fighting out of Hard Knocks 365 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, he is TJ Rubberman Stanislaus. The referee assigned to this fight, Ray Ramos.
The Rubberman, TJ Stanislaus, and the Fire Prince, Devin Lee, looking to get it on here. 2 tall guys, alphas there, going shoulder to shoulder, listen to the instructions. Fire Prince Lee has a very, very unassuming demeanor until the bell rings. Then he will assume he's going to knock you out. Stanislaus also got some good hands on him as well, looking to get long round number 1 underway.
The Rubberman and Devin Lee, 2 fighters, Blake Bowman, we've certainly seen before. They bring some experience here into the cage.
They have indeed. Yeah, this would be, I believe, is this the first fight where both guys have wins under their belt?
I do believe so, as Devin Lee, of course, at 6'3", TJ Stanislaus at 6'2", 2 of the larger fighters on tonight's card. That's a lot of length in there, Blake.
It is. Looking at him, though, nice, beautiful sidekick there, counter sidekick. I just don't know that when I look at it that I see an inch of height advantage for Lee. They're pretty much to a scratch if you ask me.
I thought Lee may have even been giving up an inch or so.
I did too, yeah.
But he tells me he's 6'3". I have to go with it.
I believe it. If Stanislaus tells me he's 6'2", I think he might be behind an inch actually.
Stanislaus, again, those quick movements and his elusiveness there certainly brings a very unique fighting style.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does out of Hard Knocks 365. Good jab, and of course that good sidekick there, counter sidekick, caught Lee off balance coming in. And as we know, I was stating while you're making the announcements, Devin Lee has a very unassuming style that ends up being flashy and devastating and quick, amazing power. Right here, we see him pouring it on right here.
Trying to pummel Stanislaus here as they're tied up right against the cage. Lee trying to sneak some shots in.
Oh,
or rather, Stanislaus was trying to sneak some shots in.
Yeah, Lee with a good knee to the body on the break. I think Ray Ramos is going to say he already called for the break for that knee. Went out there. Now, in the viral highlight reel knockout that Devin Lee had in his debut, good head movement there. Tyson Fury, he must think he is. Moved a lot like this, a lot of snake charming, a lot of slow deliberate movements, and then that spinning wheel kick, heel right to the temple was as good as it gets. So,
as we certainly know, both of these fighters very well versed with their kicks. Let's see how the hands work in this fight.
Yeah, Lee's doing a good job Stanislaus doing a good job with his jab there. Lee landing on the inside as well. Now, Lee definitely likes to kick, though.
As after a pretty even round number 1 here, we're approaching our final seconds as Lee, right in line with that unique style, Blake, tries to get something going towards the end of the round. That will bring us to the completion of our first 2 minutes of action. Both of these fighters looking for that big knockout blow.
They are indeed, and while Lee had some impressive strikes that he landed within that round, I think that you may have to give that to Stanislaus. Twice he caught Lee overly aggressive, and twice he set Lee on his butt. Neither one, I don't believe, was deemed a knockdown. I didn't see Ray Ramos initiate a count after that sidekick to wipe the gloves off, but that was 2 separate occasions. Stanislaus patiently countered a charging Lee, but there were some good shots from Lee. These were also some good work on the inside here.
And a lot of those shots coming, Blake, as they're tightened up against each other, you have to imagine when one of these shots lands, if there's some separation between them, very well could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, got to give that a little bit extra torque on there, right? The kinetic linking pushing off the planet to generate the most power. The whip only cracks at the end, I always say. So guys that have length like this, they really want to get the full extension on those punches or kicks to really deliver the utmost kinetic energy.
And of course, Devin Lee coming to us from Senjutsu, one of the more underrated, kind of undersung camps in Palm Beach County.
They are understated, and they are a little newer, at least to the competition realm. But they always bring guys that are very well prepared to fight, that are very well skilled, and that are game, and that have good eyes. All their guys have good eyes, good reflexes. They see a lot of shots coming. So whatever they're doing there, they're doing a very, very good job of it.
Certainly well prepared before they get into the cage is round number 2 set to begin right now. TJ Stanislaus, of course, in the red corner, and Devin Lee in the blue. The third man in the cage, our colleague Ray Ramos.
Round number 2 is underway. Chadwick. There we see Lee taking a big loop around the outside, trying to bring Stanislaus forward.
And you can really see that length on display by Stanislaus. Does not even move from the center of the cage, nearly connects with the corner.
I like what we saw there. I said that Lee was making the big loop to bring Stanislaus forward. Stanislaus comes forward. Lee cuts the angle. Back Stanislaus to the cage. Nice teep right to the face there from Lee.
Catch him with that front kick, and Stanislaus for the second time tonight, Blake,
takes Devin Lee off his feet. The first time looked a bit inadvertent. This time certainly takes him down in our first standing 8 of the night.
Yeah, get an 8 count off that knockdown there. Yeah, the first time was more of a side kick as Lee was charging, the front kick as Lee was charging, but well-timed counter kicks from Stanislaus.
Indeed, that first one in round 1, almost like 2 freight trains colliding right there, but that one certainly well done by Stanislaus, and let's see if the rubber man can capitalize on that standing 8.
Yeah, Stanislaus, again, one of these guys that relies on his length and range and height. He's very, very open with his hands, not tight, not worried about counters, and Lee's the kind of guy that's looking to counter you with something big.
After that knockdown, TJ Stanislaus certainly has put himself in now the driver's seat
wide open
of this fight.
Wide open, but he must respect the power of Lee a bit more than he has been.
Lee not backing down, and again, Blake, to your point, that power of Devin Lee could change the trajectory of this fight in just an instant.
Yes, it could, but I like seeing Stanislaus open and attacking. He's doing a good job. He's really kind of confusing Lee and landing shots in there. Lee's not out of it, though. He's landing some counters, so Stanislaus is so active. The counters aren't really standing out as much there. We see this, he wants to spin.
Tried that spinning back kick, indeed.
Not nearly enough distance between them for that to work.
Certainly not doing a whole lot of damage right there. Ray Ramos breaks him up. 20 seconds to go here in our second frame.
Yeah, man, Stanislaus is cooler than the other side of the pillow here.
As TJ Stanislaus putting himself in prime position to coast to victory in round number 3 if he can stay centered.
Couple good knees in the clinch there, but good down low shoe shining out of Stanislaus.
Lee with the output yet again, but not really doing the damage he was hoping for.
Yeah, these spins are not well timed or measured from Lee here. He's getting a little bit desperate with them.
And that brings us to the end of round number 2. Let's take a look at some of the action here. TJ Stanislaus, of course, that big knockdown. We're going to be seeing that here in just a second. Tied up right here. Nice job by both fighters trying to gain an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely enthusiastic is Stanislaus, as he should be. He's landing some good shots there. Nice head kick. I mean, blocked by Lee, but who cares? Throw it anyway.
As Lee, you saw attempt once again with that spinning back kick.
Yeah,
don't get a shot of that knockdown, but again, knowing what happened in the early portion of round number 2, Blake Bowman, what does our blue corner here, what is he able to do? What do we have to expect out of Devin Lee to get back in this fight?
Whatever it is, he's looking to set it up. He has 2 minutes to set it up and actually execute it here. The first round might have been close. I think I probably would have given that one to Stanislaus. But with the knockdown, it's a 10-8 in the second. I mean, Lee has to land the big one he's looking for, which he landed that spinning wheel kick in the third round last time we saw him. So it's coming.
So if you're TJ Stanislaus, just stick to your bread and butter right here, and you should be in position to close out round number 3 and pull away with a victory.
I would have to agree. Maybe tighten up the defense a little bit more. Be aware that something big and strong is coming. You got to be waiting on that. Here's Stanislaus.
So the bell sounds. Now under 2 minutes to go in this fight. Devin Lee back against the wall. Let's see what he can do.
See, Lee's circling big on the outside, trying to get Stanislaus to extend, and when he does, Lee wants to cut that corner and drive Stanislaus back into the cage.
And you see Stanislaus there keeping him honest and kind of taking away the offensive opportunities from Lee.
Yeah, if I'm Lee now, I'm pressing the gas.
He needs to indeed start thinking about moving forward right here. Already 1/4 of the way into this third round.
Yep, I mean, that's the time. You get him to throw a kick, he's on 1 foot, just charging, land something. You got to at least get a knockdown here or else.
Stanislaus just trying to stay 1 step ahead of Devin Lee and not put himself in position to be vulnerable.
Yeah, which you don't want to be vulnerable. Again, if I'm Stanislaus, I'm tightening up the defense and just needling away at him in this round here. But he's throwing body shots, looking to score whenever he can. It's Stanislaus.
Lee again trying to press forward here as we're officially 1 minute to go in our final frame.
Another teep to the face there from Stanislaus. Lee landed some good shots here. Stanislaus not respecting the power of Lee, and he's not. It's what's winning him the fight, honestly.
You thought Devin Lee might have seen an opening right there, and TJ Stanislaus quickly closes it shut.
Yep.
40 seconds to go here in this final frame. One last opportunity here for Devin Lee to get something going in the judges' minds.
Yeah, great fight for Stanislaus here so far through 2 3/4 of a round there. And Lee, again, it might be a thing where Lee's just not used to fighting guys that have range on him.
That's a great point. Not a lot of fighters you normally see in that 6'2", 6'3" range here in that welterweight division.
Yeah, especially in this weight class, 170. Not a lot of guys over, like you said, 6'3" there.
So our final 10 seconds of action right here as TJ Stanislaus maybe running out of gas, but doing just enough to take away the offense of Devin Lee in the final frame.
If he ran out of gas, he will coast into the driveway anyway. 3 in the books. We will let the judges decide who did the most. I feel like it's almost elementary here.
It certainly appears to side with our red corner, TJ Stanislaus. But again, a nice job by both fighters looking game.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Lee had his moments and had his opportunities, but he was spinning when they were a little too close and just couldn't quite capitalize. And a lot of that credit goes to Stanislaus for tying him up whenever they were against the cage. So a smart fight offensively and defensively for Stanislaus. Also, Black Rob say like, whoa, the rubber man getting rubbery in there. But standing rubber guard like that. I feel like this one's pretty elementary to Stanislaus, never can tell. Lee certainly had his moments. Looks like he can go a few more rounds, but with 2 minutes is just not enough time to really get everything going sometimes, I must admit. And I think that Lee just not able to find his range against a taller fighter. It doesn't happen very often. Chadwick, make it happen, brother.
Fight fans, after 3 hard-fought rounds of action, we go to the judges' scores with judges' scores of 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision out of the red corner, TJ Rubberman Stanislaus.
As expected, TJ Stanislaus bumps his record to 2-1 beautifully. I believe respect between the corners, not a surprise here. Blake Chadwick, we're going to grab a interview with TJ Stanislaus.
TJ Rubberman Stanislaus picking up the win. Now moving to 2-1 in your amateur kickboxing career. Now you've had 3 fights under your belt. What did you think about that fight compared to your first 2?
That fight is probably one of my favorite fights this year. Really there's more stuff outside of the fight that makes the fight more meaningful, and that one was very much meaningful for me. And big ups to my opponent, much heart, much respect, and that man's an animal, and I'll tell y'all right now, he's gonna come back. All right, other than that, appreciate y'all. Love.
So TJ, before you go, each and every fight you've come out here, you've looked better and better each and every time in the cage. What's coming up next for the Rubberman?
Oh, all the smoke y'all want, really. I got a whole lot of smoke. Cannabis, vape, whatever smoke y'all need. So y'all let me know what kind of fight y'all want. MMA, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, fuck it, sambo, taekwondo, wushu, hit me up.
Well, you heard it right there, the jack of all trades, TJ Rubberman Stanislaus, now moving to 2-1 in his amateur kickboxing career.